Shalom and good afternoon. I have chosen to read to you the words of an Israeli mother, Myriam Peretz, who lost her two sons, Éliraz and Ouriel, of blessed memory. In an article published on the eve of Rosh Hashana, the Jewish New Year, she wishes her family and the Jewish people a happy New Year. Weeping eyes, joyous heart. This last year has not been a simple one for me, for us. We were sorely tried when my beloved son Éliraz fell. Tomorrow we will sit in the synagogue and with trembling voices sing the hymn Et Shaarei Ratson, the time of the gates of grace. This hymn chillingly describes the test our forefather Abraham had to undergo when he thought that he was about to lose his son Isaac. Abraham's condition is described at the moment when he binds his son to the altar, eyes bitterly weeping and a joyous heart. On the one hand, his heart is glad to fulfill God's demand of him, but on the other, he is full of pain, the pain of bitter tears. This last year has been a year of eyes bitterly weeping, with a great deal of pain. Our eyes wept bitterly for Éliraz's youth, for his children, for the look of pain in his wife's eyes. Our eyes wept copiously for the look of his daughter, Gilly, who saw her father only twice and who has now begun to crawl. Little Gilly, who already says Baba, and we answer her, Ken, Abba, yes, Father, knowing full well that she will say Abba, but she will never know him. My eyes weep for Or Chadash, Éliraz's oldest son, who has begun first grade. What did Éliraz long for all his life? To bring his son to the study hall, to the place from which he drew his strength. And now Or Chadash is going to school, but he is going alone. This year was a painful year for my children too, for they have lost a second brother. After my eldest son, Ouriel, died, Éliraz took upon himself the task of advice and guidance. Now there is no one to consult. My eyes weep for myself as well, for a year in which I enter the cemetery on Mount Herzl and have to decide which of my sons to go to first. Like the Passover Seder table we set right after Éliraz fell, we will also set our finest holiday table for the new year. Beautiful dishes, gifts for the children, and new clothing. But inside, something will be missing. We will remember the holidays when, smiling, laughing, Éliraz had held the goblet for blessing the wine. His army phone was always at hand. Now at hand, at this year's table, will be his young widow, Shlomit. But although our eyes wept bitterly, our hearts knew joy this year when we discovered our Jewish nation, a nation that wept with us, that embraced and esteemed us. We first encountered its support when my son was alive for their heroism. Unfortunately, we also felt the warmth of our nation's embrace after they fell. We saw acts of grace, love, transcendency, and unity. And this is what I wish for us in the new year. That in the new year we will be good to each other. That this will be a year of love of our nation. A year in which this nation will realize its wonderful strengths without paying the heavy price that we have paid. A year in which we value every minute, a year of prayer for better days. As a mother of an Israeli son, a soldier, I ask myself from where Myriam Peretz draws her strength. And I ask myself the same question about Aviva Shalit, as she daily endures a living hell. For Aviva, this was not a good year. Aviva has not had even one good day since her son Gilad was kidnapped by the Hamas. 1,556 days ago. These two amazing women, Aviva and Myriam, are simply mothers. They have not chosen to become heroes. The harsh reality of Israeli life has chosen them and has forced them to cope with the worst of all. Gilad and his family need your support. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. I know that we will bring Gilad home. Thank you.